Hi guys and welcome back. So, back in the day, how did we get our gaming information? Latest upcoming games, hints, tips, strategy guides, you got it from magazines. I'm going to take you through one of those magazines from cover to cover. Let's take a look at Computer and Video Games magazine. So, when there was no internet, no smartphones, how did you find out anything about games? Well, you had word of mouth. Your mates would tell you about this new game they've just picked up, or you went out and you bought a gaming magazine. Here, as you can see, we're looking at one of the most prominent magazines of the day, Computer and Video Games. This is February 1999, issue 207. As you can see, looking at the front cover there, we have The Legend of Zelda, strategy guide and tips, Tomb Raider 3, expert player's guide. But taking up the majority of the front cover is one of my all-time great, best games I've ever played, Soul Reaver. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and my friend Andy at the time, we used to play this back and forth, phoning each other. How far have you got? So, let's take a look inside. Arsene Wenger, Champion Manager 3. Release date February 1999. And looking at the contents and everything. Coming soon, there's loads of games there. Virtual Fighter, Ridge Racer Type 4, South Park. Obviously, Soul Reaver is prominent. Tomb Raider 3, Zelda 64 Player's Guide. Regular stuff. Moving further into the magazine, the buy and sell exchange. This is how you got the majority of your games, additional joysticks. You would just basically mail order or phone the number, leave your card details, then post that out to you. Always at the beginning, editors telling you about what's in this week's magazine, people that made up the magazine, and obviously an advert. So going in straight away, Zelda. Zelda's True Hero, Rumbo Pack for the Game Boy Color. HMV. Money off vouchers, incredible. And obviously Dreamcast performs. Moving further in, Comet. Are they still going? More information about, what hints, tips, screws loose. Let's take this outside. This one is a warning. It would just fill you full of information about certain contents and certain games and packages that you could purchase. Obviously, we've got a full review there on the Dreamcast. The first Dreamcasts are now in the hands of the world's video gamers. Here's what you can look forward to this autumn. Brilliant. And obviously, some of the games that were being launched with it. Two-page spread down Virtual Fighter 3 TB. What a brilliant game that was. Another two-page spread on it. Zilla Creations. Oh, here we go. Legend of Kane, Soul Reaver. If you've not had a chance to ever play this game, you really must. Yes, the graphics now are extremely blocky, but it is a brilliant game. All to do with vampires, time travel, good versus evil, tons of plot twists. A very, very good game to play. Ridge Racer Type 4. I thought this was absolutely fantastic when I played this on the PlayStation 1. So fast at the time. Absolute joy. More adverts. South Park. What a funny game that was. Competition lines. This is how they made their money. Found those numbers, paid £2 a minute. Yeah, I wonder if any of these still work. Black and White, what a very interesting game that was. You know, if I remember correctly, you either played as good or evil. Your actions would dictate what happened to the world. More mail order. Now this is where you got some of your information, telling you about the games, what they were. So obviously here we have Resident Evil on the Saturn. Battle mode Jill, 999 points, A grade. So this, looking at it, is it's a high scores. So you get this and you try and better those high scores depending on the games that you were playing. Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing. Brilliant. Tomb Raider 3, the Player's Guide. People had obviously sent in their drawings. Oh god, what's that one there? Medieval, brilliant game. They're actually bringing out a remake of that for the PS4. Can't wait, must get that. Tomb Raider 20, Lara Croft made to be upheld. Fantastic. Zelda's Player's Guide. And this is really how you got your information on the games, how to play them. But obviously the people that wrote this had to play the game and write these strategy guides. You know, nothing was simple. So when you think about it, somebody out there had to complete the game, write down exactly what you did, and they had to do this week in, week out. So your tips now. Turok, Iggy Wrecking Ball, Extreme XG2, Charts Roundup. So, back in 1999, PlayStation Top 10, FIFA 99, PlayStation Platinum, Grand Theft Auto. The Nintendo 64 was The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. On PC, it was Tomb Raider 3. Japanese multi-sales top 10, Game Boy, Dragon Quest Monsters, followed by Smash Court Tennis to the PlayStation. American multi-format sales, WCW vs NWO Revenge, obviously a wrestling game. And then, what's that? CBG's team's most played games of the month. ISS Pro. What a brilliant football game that was. Way ahead of its time. It's a pity they just couldn't get the licensing deals that FIFA have got. obviously Sonic Adventure. You can actually order the back order, you know, the older magazines. Obviously mail order or phone up. Winners of competitions. Wipeout 64. Brilliant game. Crash Bandicoot Warped. Yeah. Was it Naughty Dog? I think it was, wasn't it? What a fantastic game series that was. Wrestling. Knockout Kings. The Hulkster. Or NWO as he was known then. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D. Again, what a brilliant game. They cry more, more, more. Devil Dice. The Smurfs Nightmare. My word. Player Manager game for the PlayStation. Another new one. Kevin Keegan. Absolutely rampacked, full of all sorts of information. Arcade machines, Star Wars Trilogy arcade. I remember playing that back in the day. Thought it was the absolute nuts. Gee, please, what a fantastic game. If you've not played that, you really need to. PlayStation. Rogue Squadron. Then obviously getting near the back there. More adverts for all sorts. You know, ordering games direct. Video games, cheating tips. So you'd look at the list, find out what game you wanted. So, for instance, Toka, make the phone call, and they'll give you the tip. And does it actually say how much per minute? Calls cost 65p, I think that is per minute. And as kids, you'd spend an absolute fortune. Again, all these low prices, fast delivery. More of the same. Lots of just adverts for karting. Someone's had a doodle. Sonic on the Dreamcast. More adverts. And that's the very end. There we have this. What's that? PSX and Saturn Assassin. Looks to be a first-person shooter. Never heard of it. And that's how you got your information from magazines. Well, a little bit different. Not maybe for everyone, but very nostalgic to have a flick through this old magazine. I hope you guys have enjoyed a little trip down memory lane. And for some of you, I hope it's been a bit of an eye-opener. You couldn't just get at this information at a drop of a hat like you can these days. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. Subscribe if you want more. Please give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys again. Take care.